What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my house where we are still in quarantine. Yeah, yep, that's how it's gonna happen. Anyways, welcome back to another Tesla Talk Tuesday. We're actually not gonna start off talking about Tesla, but we're gonna get into Tesla. We're just gonna briefly touch on the Porsche Taycan. So, the Porsche Taycan 4S is officially hitting US dealerships. So as we know, you have the Taycan Turbo S, which is the top of the line model, starts at $185,000, which is so crazy to me because you could effectively buy a Performance Model S and a Performance Model 3 with the track package for less money, probably both with full self-driving. Or you could get the Tesla Model S Performance and a Tesla Cybertruck tri-motor version for less than the price of a Porsche Taycan. You could get almost two Tesla Model S Performances and just drive one until the performance drops and then get in the other one and keep driving that for the price of a Taycan Turbo S for 185. Like it's crazy. And the problem is that if you get the 4S, the 0 to 60 time drops from 2.6 seconds, which is incredible for the Taycan Turbo S, all the way down to a measly like 3.8 seconds or something. Like it drastically drops. I mean, you're basically getting into the ballpark of my car, which is now 6 years old with over 100,000 miles on it, and it's only rear-wheel drive. So I don't know. Porsches are fantastic cars. It probably drives amazing, but I don't understand. Yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, maybe I have to drive one and it's fantastic, but you know, if you're doing any sort of road trips, not feasible because, well, you don't have the Tesla supercharging network. There are other chargers, but I don't know how people do it if they don't have a Tesla and they want to do a road trip. I really don't. As far as like a round town car though, I guess it makes sense. If you really like Porsche, you really just want to spend the extra money just to spend it, go for it. Otherwise, the Tesla's still crushing it. And speaking of 0 to 60 times, so I think last Tesla Talk Tuesday, I mentioned the cheetah stance that Tesla was having with their Model S, where the front drops down a little bit further on launch. And they've actually decreased the advertised 0 to 60 time on their website from 2.4 seconds down to 2.3 seconds. So they dropped 0.1 seconds off just by dropping the nose down. And I think they did increase power slightly, like 45 horsepower or something. Pretty neat stuff, but they're just slowly increasing these times, getting them better and better. I can't wait to see what plaid mode brings. Can't wait to see what the Roadster actually has. And I definitely can't wait to see what the Cybertruck does, because, well, with the tri-motor Cybertruck, that's cheaper than the base model Taycan. The Cybertruck's still going to be faster, at least as of right now, or I guess quicker. I don't know. I don't know what the top speed is. Anyways, let's move on with more Tesla stuff, because there's been some interesting developments, especially around the Cybertruck. Real quick, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. So, the Cybertruck. Now, I not only ordered one, but pre-ordered two of these things by mistake though. Yeah, so I kind of ordered one, got an error page, and then put another one in, and then the next day I got email confirmations for two. So I have technically pre-ordered two Tesla Cybertruck tri-motor versions. I'm just keeping them at this point. It's a $100 fully refundable deposit, so at any point in time I can get my $200 back. So yeah, we're just letting it ride. But someone recently tweeted at Elon, and he's very good about responding to people. And he asked Elon, what is the biggest design change since the unveil? And Elon responded on April 16th, just a couple days ago, that the biggest design was a 3% decrease in size. And basically there's like a line that runs across the body of the truck that was slightly angled upwards going to the bed. Now it's more flat. They leveled it out, and the windowsill I think also got brought down just a little bit. The interior cabin room, Elon said, is decreased by about 1.5%. So not terrible. But to compare it to my Model S is about 196 inches in length. The Tesla Cybertruck, I think people were pegging it around 231 inches in length, which is crazy. That's almost 3 feet longer, I think, something like that, than my Model S. But with this 3% reduction, if you just take it for what it is and decrease 231 by 3%, which is roughly just under 7 inches, you get 224 inches, which is still about 2 feet longer than my Model S, which means the truck won't fit in my garage. Now, what else is interesting is that these trucks, because they're made of like a unibody stainless steel, Elon said that they're going to be hard to paint, but he did point out that you can simply just get it vinyl wrapped. Now, one person posed an interesting question, which he hasn't addressed, is whether or not there will be like vinyl wrap options from Tesla themselves. So for example, if you order the Cybertruck, but you want it in the lime green, will they vinyl wrap it? I don't know, probably going to add the cost for Tesla, so I doubt they'll do it. However, you can just get it vinyl wrapped locally, or you can do it yourself just like I do. But the point is, this stainless steel that like doesn't dent, which they showed in the unveil video where they just like sledgehammer the side of it, it seems like it should be super durable. And if you can just vinyl wrap it, I feel like that's such a better option. Just make it have this rugged, awesome body, and then people can just wrap it whatever color they want, and you get the best of both worlds. Elon is actually very excited to make the Cybertruck. He is also going to be incorporating the Model Y heat pump, and he tweeted an interesting thing out saying that this was the key paragraph to pay attention to. I believe it's from Wikipedia, but basically what it's saying is that the ability for a heat pump to generate heat is about 3 to 4 times the typical way that Teslas do it now, which means they're 3 to 4 times more efficient. So you use 3 to 4 times less energy from the actual car, meaning your range is greatly improved based on if you were running like heat in my car, for example, because I don't have a heat pump, whereas the new Model Ys do have a heat pump. So by doing this in the winter, which is when range is really crucial because it's so cold, when you run the heat, you do lose a decent amount of range. So by introducing heat pumps to the Tesla Cybertruck, which is where you're really going to need it with a much larger, heavier vehicle, it can help improve the range even more, especially in colder climates and when you're running the heat. So very neat stuff all around with the Cybertruck. A lot of cool stuff coming out. If you follow Elon on Twitter, he covers a lot of this. So there was a rendering from Alwyn Art for the Cybertruck redesign, what it could potentially look like. You can see that the line across the body of the truck is more level now, and the windowsills come down a little bit. It's also not quite as like wedge shaped as it was before. Either way, this design's growing on me. I'm definitely liking the Cybertruck more and more every day. Now, as an interesting competitor to, I guess, maybe the Cybertruck or like the Model Y kind of thing, Fisker has released a version of its electric SUV that is an off-road version, and said it will be about $30,000 after US tax incentives. So I think the US incentive was around like $7,500, somewhere in that ballpark. So this SUV should be around $37,500. After incentives, it could be $30,000 or less, depending on also state incentives. But they have a Force E package, which looks super cool. Like off-road lights, roof racks, front bumpers, can like carry an extra spare tire. It looks pretty sweet. So for $30,000, I think they're saying it should have around 300 miles of range, which is incredibly impressive for that price point too. I don't know, but I think there should be more details in Q4 of 2020. I don't know when this is actually going to be released. There's so many things that are up in the air. Also with this economy, you never know if these cars are actually going to come out. There's also a crazy thing. Apparently there's a startup in New Jersey that has an electric SUV claiming 700 miles of range, and they're trying to take $140,000 deposits on this vehicle already. So, I mean, I don't know if they're just trying to shove like 2 battery packs in there. It's going to be crazy heavy, but 700 miles of range is extremely impressive. But I don't really know much else other than that. Sorry, I didn't read too much on it, but if you want to look it up, 700-mile electric SUV, New Jersey, keywords in Google, you'll probably find it. $140,000. Yeah, it's just crazy. Anyways, yeah, just some crazy concepts coming out. Hopefully we'll actually see them hitting the roads in the next year or two. Hopefully we'll see the Cybertruck actually hitting the road in 2021. Super excited for that to come out. At this point, I may just not buy a car, especially if I'm still searching for a job. Instead of buying, an old manual V8 Aston Martin or something, I might just wait and trade my Model S in for the tri-motor Cybertruck and then put more money down on that. So I'm very excited for the Cybertruck. I think it's going to be awesome. I like the fact that it is so durable. Yeah, so more to come. Finally, last but not least, there are potential updates that could come to the Model S and X. Now that the factories are kind of shut down, they could be maybe looking at ways to revamp and refresh in a sense, even though Tesla or Elon said they don't do refreshes. They could tweak things on the interior. As we know, they've updated seats multiple times. They've added cup holders, chargers, wireless charging, like all of these little things that have slowly changed the interiors of the cars. Never doing a true refresh, but one thing we could potentially see is a way to rework the interior of the Model S and X's to have more of a Model 3, I guess, esque, not necessarily feel, but design implementation where you have the one center touchscreen. Maybe it's a larger touchscreen than the Model 3, and you get rid of the driver's dash. There's been a lot of speculation about this over the years. I think some stuff came out in like 2018, 2019, but it never happened because they focused on ramping up the Model 3 production. But now, with the potential Model S and X like plaid mode coming out later this year, if that still happens, they could potentially increase some new features inside of the car, maybe more on par with like BMW, Mercedes, Porsche, Audi, like any of those cars, any great features that people really like, they could potentially introduce into their higher end segment, get people to buy more of those cars, sort of set them as a true leg higher than like the Model 3 than just interior space and performance. Give more of a luxurious feel. I would love if they brought back cooled seats in addition to heated seats. I believe that was real brief in like 2016, 17, or 18. There was a real brief period where they had heated and cooled seats. Either way, if they take this time to do that while maybe introducing the plaid mode, they could have like, that would be a reason to really get that versus just like a Model 3 performance. Like for me, I'm looking at the two cars and like the Model 3 probably much more nimble. I haven't driven one, so I really want to drive one. The driving is probably a little bit different, a little bit lighter. My car is very big, very heavy. But the Model S performance is still, they're keeping it much better than the Model 3 just to really set it apart. Other than that, it's really just size. And I guess you get free unlimited supercharging. If they implement some upgrades, some refreshes, more luxurious attributes, it could help increase Model S and Model X sales in the future, in addition to plaid mode, because that could be kind of a game changer. If you're getting 0 to 60 times sub 2 seconds in these cars now, that'd be wild. Tesla's still crushing it, as I mentioned in one of my last 2 or 3 videos. The Model 3s are killing it in China right now. They had their best sales quarter ever, which is crazy that this happened, best sales month ever, I think in March, which is happening in the midst of a pandemic, potential economic downturn. Auto sales are down 40% in China, and Tesla's had one of their best months ever. Lots of interesting things happening at Tesla. Excited for the Tesla Cybertruck to come out. Want to see more designs. I want to see it actually hit the website so we can see like what are the options for it. It might be as simple as, do you want an ATV or not? Do you want the performance package? And like, that's it. If that is, that's perfectly fine, but super excited for 2021 and the rest of the year. Also, Tesla Battery Day will be soon, so keep an eye out for that. Very curious to see what the technology is around that. After watching their like full self-driving neural net kind of walkthrough, the Battery Day should be very, very cool. Anyways, that's going to be it for this Tesla Talk Tuesday. If you're enjoying the content, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It will really help out the channel. And until next time, thanks for watching.